This is my contact information, Kristen at culturaloutreach.net. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I'm always happy to respond or have someone on my team respond regarding the questions on social media. But hopefully this is going to give you some good foundational information on a guide to social media and some of the top trends that we're seeing on social media. But as Holly mentioned, if you have any questions that come up throughout, feel free to type those into the question box, and I'll address those toward the end of the webinar. And of course, keep in mind that you want to follow up with your marketing department if any questions come up so that they can check with compliance. And every company, I mean, I work with companies across the country, primarily in mortgage, and have worked with over 50 lenders. And it seems like we've got some everything I present today is pretty consistently across the board going to be compliant, but make sure you know your policies and are in communication with your marketing team to make sure that you're compliant. And as was mentioned, we are here today because of my partnership with National MI. National MI has partnered with my company, Cultural Outreach Solutions, to provide educational content, and including this webinar. And we also deliver a ton of content related to social media and multicultural marketing, millennial marketing through their social media pages. So if you follow National MI on Facebook or LinkedIn, that would be a great place to start in terms of getting additional social media content that you can share with referral partners. And hopefully we try to keep it pretty interesting and provide some good tips on this. And we already talked about this, so I'll skip over that, but we do have a new digital agency called modernloanofficer.com, and the subscription provides additional social media content and training. So today I'm going to start by giving some broad information around why we use social media, and then get into some best practices and some specific strategies to utilizing social media to enhance your business. So first of all, we come from a pretty traditional, or we're making a pretty big shift in terms of how consumers are purchasing and what the process of communication with today's consumers looks like. It used to be a pretty linear process where it started in person or with a phone call, and it was also driven by the industry. The providers would kind of dictate this is what the experience looks like, not in a negative way, just in the sense that this was I'm sorry, the things popping up are gonna kill me, so I gotta go back. Okay, there we go. So it was a pretty industry-driven process where providers would be, laying out the process for consumers, and that was because they were the end-all be-all for information. And consumers would walk into the office or have a phone call and say, you're the professional, I trust you to take me through this process. But in today's environment, we've become very buyer-driven in the sense that buyers are going out and doing a ton of research. They're not necessarily automatically going to the provider and saying, I trust you with everything. They want to do, or we want to do, a lot of research ahead of time. And then we're going to reach out to you on multiple channels. So it's also become a very omni-channel kind of process. Where we're contacting via text or email or video and Facebook, Messenger, a lot of different platforms in order to reach you and communicate with you. And in today's environment, because there are we have so much access to information and providers that it's so much more competitive in terms of the buyer experience. So when we talk about social media, I really want us to think about less about how much exposure can I get, how many people can I get to like this post, and more about how can I create a relationship and build trust with my audience through multiple channels. And because like I said, where before we would choose a provider and say, okay, I know nothing, you're the expert, I trust you. Now we're coming to the table saying, okay, I have a lot of information. I want to see if I can trust you. And eventually, hopefully, because maybe they've seen posts on social media or they've seen you as a leading expert through your guidance in your email communications and the videos that you put out and the content you're producing, that tells me, okay, I know this person is the expert and I can trust them. And that's where we want to get, is building a relationship and the brand that you're the go-to resource and guide through this process. And the important thing to think about here is that we've really, this shift has dropped a lot of companies. 60 years ago, companies had a lifespan, Fortune 500 companies specifically had an average lifespan of 75 years. And today that's dropped to only 15 years. And I think a lot of that is due to cost of, of doing business, but also the rate of disruption. Companies are having a hard time keeping up with the speed of how consumers communicate and the changes in what consumers expect from a consumer experience. So hopefully today this will provide a little bit of a structure for how we can approach social media, using it to its maximum effectiveness and not wasting time on social media, but using it to provide a better customer experience and build an awesome reputation. Social media is a big influencer of buying decisions in America. According to research, and I don't have it listed here for some reason, I think it was BCB or Nielsen that talks about the social media is the biggest influencer of buying decisions in America today. Over 3/4 of home buyers use social media in their home search, and I believe 87% of home buyers are using social media from their smartphones at the very beginning of their home search. So social media, one thing I want to mention here, a lot of people get on social media or start a social media strategy expecting for instant results in terms of new sales or new referral partners and kind of seeing that overnight transition. But social media is a branding, longer term game. It's about, again, just kind of building your reputation. It's as if you're walking into a large room of people that you know and you're having conversations with people, or and you wouldn't walk into that room telling everyone that you have this business. You wouldn't open with a sales message. You would open with getting to know other people or asking, having that engagement. So the social media is an influencer in the sense that you remain top of mind with people. You're walking into that room and people remember, oh yeah, that person is a mortgage professional. That person is a real estate professional. And so that's how it's influencing decisions. It's not necessarily an overnight, oh, I saw this person's ad, so I'm going to apply for a loan. So kind of keep that in mind. Social media also does provide an avenue for people to research, and millennials in particular are heavy researchers, of course, initially. And so if we get a few names, a handful of recommendations for people to reach out to, we're going to not only Google your name, but also look you up on Facebook and see what kind of person you are. See if this is a good fit for someone that I think I would connect with and that would connect with my values. So you should always know what comes up when someone Googles you. A lot of people don't take the time to check this regularly, and it's really important. In fact, that reminds me now I should check this again. But I would recommend checking this on a maybe at least quarterly basis. Just see if there's anything that pops up. Check images, because a lot of things that are you get tagged in on social media will show up on the Google search. And you just want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. This is what people see when they first, like if you walk into a room, let's say you walked into a really professional business meeting and you're wearing a swimsuit, that's going to look really awkward. And I'm not saying you can't wear swimsuits in these photos, but I'm saying you should be aware of what your brand and what that first impression is telling your consumers. What story are you telling? And that is the question that I would keep in mind throughout this entire conversation, is what is the story that you're telling? It can be that you are a fun person, that you go out with friends, that you have a family, and also it should be that you have this expertise and that you are the go-to resource in anything related to home loans. And so creating that story is important on any network and any social media platform. And then customer reviews are also really influential and a part of social media that I won't get into much today, but I want to mention 88% of people trust customer reviews as much as personal referrals. And that's people in general, not even just millennials, which that number will increase. And it's not people, and again, kind of going back to that, the influence, it's not people saying, oh, I trust what all strangers say. It's people doing a variety of forms of research. And this is one thing to influence their decision. And to drive home this point, I just want to mention briefly, this is an example of a candle that is less than $5, something you don't think twice about really buying in the store, but there are 751 reviews for this candle. And people go in depth on these reviews. I mean, really spending a lot of time going through, taking the time to write these reviews. So many more people are reading these reviews. And so you know if they're going to want to do it for a $5 purchase, that they would want to do it for a $500,000 purchase. So that's the kind of influence and power that social media and customer reviews really have on consumers. So now I'm going to walk through some of the top trends on social media and some of the platforms that we're seeing emerging in 2018 and where I think you should spend the most of your time and energy really concentrating on. I think as I talk through this, consider some of the ways that you are interacting on social media as well. And so what I don't want to happen is to overwhelm anyone with any information on social media and make it seem as though you need to just block a ton of your time for social media. That's not what I think. I think social media should be efficient for your business. It should be productive. So while I do say, let's build this brand and tell the story, you can do so in a way that is productive for you and that it doesn't take away from your other business practices and marketing channels. So first major trend on social media that we're seeing this year is, or continued this year, is ephemeral content, which means the short-lived video content that disappears within a period of time, typically 24 hours. This was started with Snapchat, where you had the short videos or photos, and you could send those to your story for people to view or to specific people. And now Instagram Stories has that same feature, and that has taken a lot of, so many people are using that. You can kind of see what that looks like here in this image. If you see those little circles, you click on any of those circles and you'll see short little videos or images that people have posted within the last 24 hours. And what's cool about this and what's really interesting, I think, from a marketing perspective, is that this tells us people care more right now about the authentic day-to-day life story. It's cool to post some beautiful images on Instagram, but people are spending a lot of time watching the stories, which means, that they care about that authentic engagement. And on those stories, they don't care as much about making sure the image is perfect or that they look the best. It's more more authentic. So I think that tells us a lot about telling your story and how important it is to engage on that personal level and be real with your customers. It's also Instagram Stories Facebook also has this feature as well now. Same kind of look where there's little circles and you click on them and they connect with each other. So you can post to Instagram Stories and it will post automatically to your Facebook story. But if you are connected with referral partners on Instagram or Facebook, I would really recommend staying in touch with them through these stories. So watch some of their stories, and that way you can realize, oh, this person just got a new dog, or this person, I don't know, something's going on in their life, and you can follow up with them about it and stay in touch. It's all about, as it's always been, about relationships and who you know in order to build your business. And today that has gotten even more important, and this is a great tool to be able to facilitate those relationships. And one thing I want to mention about Instagram, because I've seen a lot of mortgage professionals lately and professionals in this industry getting on Instagram, but it seems a little bit, sometimes what I notice is it looks like a foreigner on Instagram. Every platform has its own culture and its own language. And so really think about your strategy whenever you are going onto a new platform. If you go into Twitter, if you go into LinkedIn or Instagram, all of these have their own culture. It's like going to a new country. You want to know a little bit about what is normal and what are the cultural norms of that platform in order to best facilitate relationships and build a good brand. So a few things about Instagram. Instagram is a very personal platform, all about personal lifestyle and interests. I see a lot of people posting sales-oriented posts, and I would be very careful of that. As an individual, it's important to keep it very authentic and of course professional. I mean, this is your business card to the world. This is your first impression for a lot of people and a reputation that you want to build around being the go-to resource. So you can share things like short videos and all of that, but make sure that you are, you're kind of being more authentic through this. Avoid sales language and any images like that. And then consistency is really key. So the more that you post consistently, the more likes you're going to get on a post. And don't post very super often. I mean, on Twitter, you can tweet 6+ times a day, but on Instagram, you want to post maybe once a day. You could post a couple times a day, maybe, if it's really interesting and engaging content. But that's the other cool thing about Instagram stories, the disappearing content, that you can post, I mean, many times a day, 6+ times a day as well. Second major theme of this year is live streaming. Streaming has become very normal, and any kind of video content has become really a normal way of communicating, and that's going to continue to be the case as we move forward. People are, of course, live streaming content online. We stream content like Netflix and Hulu as the typical go-to source for television today, and that's again become the new normal for how we communicate with others. So one thing I've seen people doing that has been really interesting and effective is live streaming events, like live streaming a homebuyer education seminar, or live streaming a short little update on what's going on in the mortgage industry, or some kind of financial literacy conversation, and doing some update on a consistent basis, like weekly or monthly, has been really great. And the cool thing about live streaming too, you can do this on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And when you live stream on Facebook and Instagram, it will notify all of your followers and your audience that you are going live. So even if I have my phone off, it'll give me a notification that so-and-so is live on Instagram. And so it's a good way to get attention, get engagement. You want to make sure that you are engaging and don't kind of have this long, boring thing that you're streaming, but and you don't do it too often, because then people will unfollow you. But yeah, it's a great way to, and then on Facebook, when you do go live, it will record and post it to your business page as well. And then instant messaging. This has picked up a lot this year, even among not just young consumers, but everyone has started using Facebook Messenger a lot more to get quick responses and communicate with providers and referral partners. So instant messenger, if you are not checking it, make sure you're checking it. People will find you even if they don't interact with you on Facebook. They'll look for you on Messenger and contact you there, I've noticed. And so also be aware that on Facebook Messenger, if you click on unread messages, I think that's what it's called, there's a portion of messages that kind of get hidden from your general messages if you're not friends on Facebook. So check that on a regular basis so you make sure you're not missing any calls, any contacts, and you can respond quickly. I know it's another platform to check, but it actually can be really great for facilitating communication. On Facebook Messenger, there's a little video icon, and you can send little short videos over to them. So let's say they have a question that takes longer than you want to text over, you can record a short video and send it to them in the app. So I think that's a really great platform for communicating and providing quick responses. And then a few notes on Facebook. By the way, Facebook, I'll talk about this in a minute, but Facebook is a really important platform for communicating. I'll come back to the Facebook changes because I want to mention here that your audience is still growing significantly on Facebook and LinkedIn. So many people keep saying that people are going away from Facebook, and maybe that's true in a couple years down the road, but right now Facebook, compared to other platforms, has significantly higher number of daily users. And the number of daily users on LinkedIn is significant as well. I believe it's 25% of LinkedIn's users are daily users or active users. So Facebook provides really great engagement. People are going to your website, contacting you from Facebook, more so even than Google now. So Facebook has become kind of the new internet as a whole. It's really big in emerging markets as well. And then, here we go. Yeah, 40% of LinkedIn's users are daily users. That is crazy to me. So LinkedIn is a more professional platform, really great for referral, partner networking, and they've got lots of good groups in there to get involved with. But it's great for recruitment as well. I think Facebook is also great for referral partner networking, though, and of course being there for consumers. Be aware. I know so many people separate out their work and their professional and personal lives on Facebook, and I understand that. I kind of felt that way about Instagram. Instagram was my personal platform, but now it's all integrated. Everyone today, no matter your age, has blurred the line between professional and personal, and it can be hard to. You want to push back because you want your own space, but the reality is that line is fuzzy, and it's a great way. The more people you know, the more relationships you have, the more business you're going to get. So I recommend connecting with everyone you know on both of these platforms, and really, making the cool thing about today's best practices in marketing and consumer engagement is that it is very authentic. And it is all about that true value you can bring to your audience and relationship. So take advantage of it, and you'll be really successful. Then I wanted to come back to this, changes to Facebook. The algorithm has changed recently, so you're not seeing posts from a business page as often as you're seeing posts from friends and family. So it used to come up kind of evenly, but now you're more likely to see posts from within your personal network. So what that means is that businesses need to pay for advertising or promote their posts in order to have those be seen more often from their audience on a business page. And also it means that you need to leverage your personal networks. So again, kind of that line, if you want to keep that really rigid and not post anything business to your personal page, that's fine, but I would recommend really just being cognizant of the fact that people within your network, if they know what your job is and they see you as a resource, then you're going to get more business. If you connect with more people on your Facebook profile, you're going to build your network in a way that is going to expand your business. And also be aware that even if you don't friend anyone that that's a referral partner or that's a client or whatever, let's say you don't, you have a private Instagram profile and you've got personal separate from business on Facebook, people are still going to find you, especially on Facebook. People are going to look up your personal profile. They're not just going to stop at your business page. So people will see you, and all of this information is public. So make sure that you are regularly also checking your Facebook and LinkedIn profile to make sure it's up to date. You're going to get a lot more engagement through those platforms and results ultimately if you are carefully auditing your content. So now, before I walk into social media strategies, I wanted to pause and see if we had any questions. Holly or Christy, do we have any questions yet?
We had one question wanting to know if we would be sharing this presentation, and we will following the webinar today. We have one question. Should you post a business post directly to your personal page or share to your personal page? Which way is better?
Great question. So I think sharing directly to your personal page is not as effective. I would recommend sharing and writing a personal note with it. So on your business page, let's say you just posted a new video and it's you talking about some kind of, financial literacy thing or home buying process thing, and you want to share that on your personal page. Then click share and click write post and write out why that's important to your audience. Say something like, hey, I'm really excited to share this video. I think it's really helpful for anyone thinking about buying a home. So you can tell there's that very personal voice with it, and it tells your audience why they should watch it, instead of it just being, even if that note is in the post itself on your business page, people are not going to look at something that as often if it's just directly shared. And then on another note, I would recommend also sharing. You can share posts from your business page, but just don't do it too often. You might, in this case, I would share some things directly like that I was talking about, but also share things organically within your personal page. So on your personal profile, you might post the actual video, like you upload it and post it separately from sharing the post on your business page. But anyway, that's kind of a mix of both of those. And yeah, don't share everything from your business page unless you're getting good responses. And everyone's network is different. A lot of social media, just like marketing, is testing it out. So that's been my experience in terms of what has been most effective for people we've worked with. So I will move forward with social media strategies, and then if any additional questions come up, just go ahead and type those into the question box, and I will respond to those at the end of the webinar. So social media strategies. The biggest thing here is talking about storytelling and consistency. You've got to be consistent in order to get the algorithm on social media profiles to recognize you and show you to other people. And you've got to be consistent in order to be remembered and stay top of mind with your audience. And then you need to tell a story. What is the story that you're telling here? Is it a story that you are a go-to resource in the mortgage industry? Is it that you just think about the elements of your story and how you're communicating that through your social media presence. First step is to optimize and audit your profiles. So just like I was talking about before, take a look at your LinkedIn profile and your Facebook profile. Make sure that you have high resolution images and a close-up picture of your face as your profile picture. So that little circle here, this is an example from my LinkedIn profile. That is a high resolution image, and so it's easy to see and it looks professional. On LinkedIn, you want these images to look professional. Don't do any selfies or anything like that. And then on Facebook, it can be less professional, but again, make sure that your profile picture on Facebook is high resolution. It looks very clear, people can clearly see you. Also on your Facebook profile, make sure that you are, you're showing your face. A lot of times I see people's kids or something like that in their profile picture, and that's cute, but people want to see you, and they're going to connect with you. If if someone, just naturally when you meet somebody, you develop a relationship and connect eye to eye. And same thing on social media. The more you can see your face, the more likely you are to build rapport with your audience. So keep that in mind on Facebook and LinkedIn and other platforms. And then also do a cover photo on both of those platforms. LinkedIn, and especially if you have a cover photo, your profile is significantly more likely to be seen by when someone is searching for you. And it's more likely to come up on LinkedIn. And then fill out everything on your LinkedIn profile, everything. Skills, all of that, because it is more likely to show up in a search, and you're more likely to be seen on LinkedIn. And then take a look at your old Facebook content. You might want to delete some things, or I wouldn't delete too much. I mean, be authentic, be yourself. That's all fine. Just make sure that you're putting your best foot forward. And then secondly, expand your network. So on LinkedIn, it'll give you a lot of recommendations for people to connect with. And I would recommend adding just as many people as possible that are in your network and in your area, in your region, because these are the people that are going to give you business and that you want to stay in touch with. I know a lot of people are really strategic about who they connect with, and I don't know if that's helpful for them, but I know the more people that I'm connected with, the more that more people I'm building a relationship with, more people that I'm building a rapport with, and the more likely I am to get a referral. And then share consistently. Make sure that you are sharing content on a consistent basis. I know Fairway puts out a lot of really great content, so you can always look to Fairway's posts to share their content, and then, like I said before, National MI shares a lot of posts, and we share a lot of posts that are really great for your referral partner network, and particularly LinkedIn. And you can engage with content as well. So here I wanted to show this example, the like, comment, share button. Tim from another company had shared this post, and then Dana from National MI commented on this post, and it will show up in your news feed as Dana commented on this. So even just comments, you get your name out there more often. I love this about LinkedIn, that it will show the comments and likes a lot more often. So it kind of encourages more engagement versus just posting. Social media is not all about putting content out. It's also about engaging with other people's content. So remember, whenever it shows that someone has an anniversary at their work or a birthday, whatever, respond to them and comment on big moments like that, so that you are involved as a friend and as in their network, someone in their network to respond. And please don't put HBD for happy birthday, or at least type out their name, happy birthday, John, or whatever. Hope you have a great day. Something that, again, is very authentic and makes you stand out as someone who really cares. And then share, there's a lot of other sources out there. I am the editor for Mortgage Women magazine, so I want to give a shout out there, but we put out a ton of hopefully always really high quality content that's helpful for anyone, man or woman, and in the industry. Housing Wire, I think, is a great source. National Mortgage News, all those platforms for in-industry content. And then there's a lot of consumer content you would want to follow. The Muse, LearnVest. There's a lot of platforms that encourage financial literacy that you can share that content for consumer-related content. And of course, like I said before, Modern Loan Officer, we're actually coming out with a free version soon. So if you stay in touch with us, I'll let you know. But Modern Loan Officer has a full bank of consumer content and industry-focused content that you can always go to share. And then share events and activities. So as events come up, take a photo, share them, or if there's an article about it, share that article. People always want to know what's going on in the community, and they want to see that you are involved in your community. They want to see that you are someone who really cares about the people you work with, and and your community. So always make sure to share that kind of involvement and take images. If you're at an event or you are at dinner or at, let's say, an open house, take a picture not of the house, but take a picture in the house with the referral partner or, wherever you are, because people want to see you living your day-to-day life, kind of going back to that original trend around ephemeral, authentic content. People care about seeing your day-to-day life. And then one of my favorite strategies is use video. Create your own video strategy. So one might be using stories, like I talked about on Instagram and Facebook. The way you do that is that you click on your little circle image at the top of your profile on Facebook or Instagram, and then you can record short videos or images, and it will post to your story. And then think about recorded videos you could share. And on both of these platforms, think about what your story is that you're telling. Is it that you're, again, that go-to resource? If so, consider creating short videos that you can record, and you could even live stream this and then record it and share it, of responses to common questions. I had one loan officer I interviewed that talked about how he would create short videos just responding to questions he had throughout the week. So one time he was getting a lot of questions around credit. So he created short videos that talked about what credit is and kind of responding to those questions. So it didn't take much time at all. He didn't have to think about, okay, what's my strategy here? He just had to respond to the questions. And then he ultimately, and a lot of people I know have done this and really effectively, where you have a bank of content and of short videos that are responding to questions or giving quick tips, and you host those on YouTube, and then you can share those to your social media channels as well. And then when people search for you online, they'll see your YouTube channel, or you can direct them to go to your YouTube channel for more information, and they see you as just the best expert, someone that is sharing with them more information and resources, and you're also building a relationship. The awesome thing about video is that you are connecting eye to eye. You're building that rapport and relationship with consumers without you. It's kind of like passive relationship building. So you create this video, and then people over and over are seeing that and building trust and relationship without you doing anything else. And I mean, I've had people come up to me at conferences and start talking to me like they already know me, and then realize, oh, I've just seen your videos, we actually haven't met yet. And that is what we all want, is to be able to cut through the feeling of, well, I need to learn how to trust you or figure out who you are, and for people to already kind of know us and know that we're people that can be trusted. So a few tips on creating those videos. Keep them very short. I recommend 2 to 3 minutes. Depends on the topic and how engaging you are. You might keep it 30 seconds. Just really short videos that are going to be helpful tips or FAQs, that kind of thing. And you can record those from your smartphone or your webcam. If you have a smartphone, and most people do today, it's just a really easy way to do this. Make sure you have a clean background, so nothing really showing behind you or not too much, and you're in a quiet space so people can very easily hear you, and there's not too many distractions on that video. And think about what else on video. Of course, you can use video as a form of live communication as well. If you are going to talk to a consumer for a while, or you want to share some information, can't meet in person, I would recommend using something like a video conversation. You can do that through Facebook. You can do that on Zoom. A lot of different platforms allow you to do that, or FaceTime, and you can have those conversations and build that relationship. And then also share quick videos in response to questions. Like I said before, when I was talking about Facebook Messenger, if someone sends over a quick question, or a question, and you know it's going to take longer than a text back, or just create a short video and send it over. That helps people to feel like they can conveniently communicate with you. You'll respond in a way that they can listen to it whenever, but with it being video, that allows them to feel a stronger connection with you. You really want to, again, connect on that relationship level. Then last use of video that I'll mention here is screen share platform called Loom. Loom allows you to capture your screen, so just like you're seeing my screen right now. It will record a video like that, but it will also record a live video of you talking in the corner. So if you wanted to show a referral partner, let's say you wanted to show them how to post on social media, or you wanted to show them some product or whatever, talk through something, Loom for free on your, I think it's just right now a web app, but our extension, but you can just click on it and it will record it. You talk through it. They build that relationship with you because they see your face, but you're able to quickly communicate something and add value to them. So that's something that's just kind of an example you could use to build those relationships and add value to referral partners. So here's a few tips. I think I talked through some of these, but on creating engaging stories. One is to know your audience and create the video content that's tailored to them. So like I was talking about before on creating Q&A type videos, that allows you to, your audience wants that. You know that that's something that's helpful to them. So kind of listen to your audience on what is relevant. You might find it super interesting to talk about the economic outlook, or what rates are doing or whatever, and maybe you have a good audience that is doing that. There are some people that have a great audience on that topic, but some people really don't. And you just think about what is going to be most interesting to and relevant to my audience. Secondly, be yourself. Be authentic and genuine. Don't worry too much about being on camera. It might take a little bit of practice to feel comfortable, but I mean, it becomes very comfortable. It's just like working out, really. It can be very uncomfortable at first and hard to get in the routine, hard to force yourself to do it. But then with time, it becomes normal. And that's just how, every day you go to the gym, and that's a normal thing. And you start seeing the results, and it motivates you to keep going to the gym, keep creating videos. And then, like I said before, kind of day-to-day life things, setting up for an open house, those are all great things to add to like an Instagram story, for instance, and then involving others. And this is helpful for creating a story, whether it be on your social media presence, like a photo or a post or a video, but involve other people. So if you're at an event and you take a photo, make sure you tag the people in that event, and ask people, if you're partnering on an event or sponsoring an event, ask the other members of that party to share that content and promote your presence at that event as well. And a couple more tips for Instagram. Instagram has gotten a lot of popularity lately, and I think is a little less intuitive than Facebook, so that's why I want to concentrate a little bit here. One is to use hashtags. You can use hashtags on any platform, and it's kind of a way of communicating. So you might say, let's say I'm sitting out in the sun and I say, what a beautiful day, hashtag Atlanta life, or whatever. In this case, I use here hashtag Loans by Joan. If you have some kind of, it's a way of communicating, and it doesn't necessarily have to be used as a hashtag. Hashtags, typically, if you click on them, you'll see other posts with that same hashtag, which makes it really cool, good way to promote your content. But it's also, again, kind of a way to brand or a way to have a conversation. On Instagram, hashtags are really important, and they allow your posts to get seen a lot more often. So you might consider don't put too many hashtags in your post itself. You might put more hashtags in the first comment, that would be relevant to your audience. So if you're trying to reach, it just depends on your audience, but let's say you're trying to reach realtors, and so you put in a lot of hashtags around real estate Atlanta, hashtag realtor, those kinds of things, and put those in the first comment. And then also adding geotags and location on posts and stories can help your posts be seen more often. And posts with people get more likes typically. And I see a lot of people posting graphics, which is fine from a corporate standpoint, but and if you really have a brand that's telling a very specific story, sometimes graphics can work. But typically the more authentic photos are the ones that get the most engagement. And a couple tips on live streaming events. If you can already mention this, but you can use Facebook Live and Instagram Live for streaming. There's also, if you're going to have a group or do some kind of class and it's going to be fairly small, you could try something like a Google Hangout, or there's something called House Party that is a fun thing like this, and of course Zoom. But this allows you to get a few people in the same room where you see in this image, and you can talk and people can speak up and ask questions. And it's just this is really great for any mastermind. So if you do a mastermind, this is a cool way to do it, and have those kinds of team communications as well. But again, video just opens the door to so much more relationship building and opportunities for some unique ways to add value. And then lastly, use instant messaging. So make sure that you do make it very easy for people to contact you. If you have a Facebook business page, make sure that you have the button that says send message so people can contact you immediately. Or you might have something else like complete application or whatever. You can put any kind of call to action there. But I find that the easiest thing is to quickly make it easy for people to respond. And then always set up a routine where you're checking those messages on a consistent basis. You can also set up auto responses on Facebook Messenger so that when someone writes something, you automatically respond saying, thanks for your inquiry, we'll be in touch with you shortly, something like that. Always remember that Facebook is very authentic, so keep it as casual and formal as possible while still being professional. So now I'm going to open it up for any additional questions we have, and I'm going to mention briefly while you put your questions together that, again, we have a free version of modernloanofficer.com coming out soon. So if you stay in touch with us or send me an email, I'll put you on the list. And in the meantime, we do offer digital coaching and social media content as well through that program. And Mortgage Women Magazine is always looking for new female contributors focused primarily on sales. And so if you would like to contribute, please reach out and let me know. You can contact me at Kristen@culturaloutreach.net, or of course, much easier, you can contact me on social media. So do we have any questions?
We do. One of them is, you mentioned posting once, maybe twice on Instagram a day. Would that be the same for Facebook posts?
Great question. Yes, it would be the same. Facebook, you can post probably up to 3 times a day, but make sure that it's very relevant information. I typically recommend once a day.
Okay. Next question. Is there a clear difference between ephemeral content and live streamed content?
Ephemeral content is something that will disappear within a period of time, like 24 hours, and live stream means that it's broadcasting currently. So like with ephemeral content, you record it and then post it, and it does post right away, so it's almost like live stream, but live stream will notify all of your followers that you are currently live, and people can actually type in while you're live. They'll type in questions or likes or whatever and kind of engage with you as you're recording it. So that's very different. Then it will record that and post it as well.
Great. Next question, is it good to add people that are in the same business, or do you not want competing friends / network?
That is a good question. I think it doesn't matter so much. I would open it up if anyone has any comments on that. I don't know that I have the best answer to that right now. I think currently it's always, in my opinion, always good to know what other people are posting as well. So I don't think it could hurt you in any way. But it may be, yeah, I'm not sure if that opens the door to any kind of potential recruitment or competitiveness, but I think it's probably best to build your network as much as possible.
Okay. Next question, when I add to my network, do they have access to my emails and who I contacted?
Do they have access to your emails? Is that what you asked?
Yes, and I'm not sure if this is specific to any one particular social media outlet or all.
Yeah. It might be a question like on LinkedIn or on any platform really, you can make your email address public, and you can also choose to make it private. So you might consider doing that if you're not comfortable with it. But otherwise, I think LinkedIn shares a lot more data than a lot of people realize. So just be aware of what you want to have public and what you don't. You can typically go into your contact list on LinkedIn, or you can definitely do this. You can go into your contact list and export it, and then you have everyone's email address. So make sure either, I don't remember if you can make that completely private, or you can definitely change your email address to one that is not one you care about people contacting you on. But that's up to you. Again, it's all about building your network. So I think some of those privacy issues are less of a concern in this marketplace.
Okay. And last question, which is the better place to collect reviews, Zillow or business Facebook page?
Then I think that it depends on your market, but Facebook business page is just so easy, and then people can instantly message you in an easy, authentic way. So I always recommend first your Facebook business page, but also Zillow tends to bring in a lot of leads for people. So test that out. I would, once you get 10 or so reviews on one platform, switch to another one, because the more platforms you have with reviews, the more those are going to pop up when someone Googles your name. But Zillow, Facebook, Google Plus or Google My Business, and Yelp are all great platforms to look at for building customer reviews.
Okay, that's it for the questions. Kristen, I thank you for your time today. We thank National MI for partnering with us, and thank you for sending your business to Fairway Wholesale Lending. We look forward to working with you, and if you have any questions about the content today, please contact your account manager. I'll be sending out the presentation slides to those of you that were on it today, and we hope you have a great afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.